Okay, morning guys, day 4 of the Guildford City Fitness live stream. Hope you're doing really well today. Again, really astounded at some of the video clips that were coming out of the ownership challenge yesterday. I did not expect people to push themselves that hard. It was definitely not designed to be very kind. So especially with some of you, merely doing the 20k cycle and then going to 12 rounds of the ownership. Incredible to see. I could shout you all out, but it's all on the Twitter. It'd take me far too long. And for me to list all the names and just take up time when some of you want to get going and do some training today. Nobody has asked for any demonstrations of exercises to do today, so we're pretty much just going to get straight into the warm-up. And with today, so with the senior sessions and the youth sessions, you'll see there's only 3 bodyweight sessions on there. The idea was that because you had other sessions going on around it and a bigger demand from your challenges, we thought week 1 we would just repeat 1 and 2 again, see how you're feeling off the back of that, and then next week we'll probably break it down and give you a different session for every day, just so you can fit, like we said, level yourselves out, see where you're at. And again, with the warm-up, we're just going to adapt it a little bit just to make sure you can MOT those little bits and pieces, make sure that you're still going to be with us next week. So that being said, we're going to go with the classic knees and performance squad pre-pull to get going. So I'm going to do the mobility bits first, but no, we'll do the raise bits first, like it should be, especially seeing as I'm outside. So make sure you've had your last little drink. We're just going to go through a couple of little minutes of star jumps, skipping on the spot, whatever you think you need to, just to get your heart rate up, and then we'll address some of the key mobility bits to get you through the session. So we're going to get going. It's 2 minutes past. How many viewers have we got?
11.
11. Okay, for you 11 that are with us now, then we're going to get you going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Just start jogging on the spot. So again, if you are doing jogging on the spot, one of our pet peeves is making sure that you just get your feet up off the ground. So rather than doing this, 1 foot leaving the ground up in the air at all times, just get a little bit of a rhythm, let your arms start to swing, and make sure you're staying tall. So again, this sort of serves as an opportunity for you to start trying to make sure that your running posture is as good as it could be. Try and make you more economical on those runs. We've gone up to 40 seconds in, another 20 to go. You want to start doing other bits. Keep it interesting. Anytime we do raise work, guys, doesn't really matter what you're doing, as long as your technique's good and you start to get your heart rate up a little bit. 2, 1, relax there. Just a quick 10 seconds off and we'll go again. Start trying to figure out what you need to stretch. 2, 1, go. Again, a lot of you, I know you've got skipping ropes. I know a lot of you are far more proficient at it than I am. So if you want to do your normal skipping routine, I would definitely recommend doing that, just so you've still got the skills when you need them when we go back. Okay, last little bit of round 2. Pogo hops. Don't know if any of you have tried this. I know Joe's squad have. Couple C skips. Might explain that at some point if people want to, but for now we'll leave it there. For 2 minutes, just to get your heart rate up. And then in terms of mobility, like I said, we're going to go through the Nays Performance Squad pre-pull, which I know some of you, we try and change it up now and again, but it just means that you've got a way of MOTing, self-checking those little bits and pieces you need to double check every day to see if anything's different. So we're going to start off then by going through walkouts, just to keep it similar to what we did the other day. So down, in. So it's just a slightly more broken down version of the walkout series. It's a bit more time efficient, the walkout series. But it just means that you're hitting every individual piece so you can figure out what's niggling you. If you want to go downward dog, back in, leave that one there, a couple of seconds in between. And when I go, bent the arm across, so lie flat on your back. 3, 2, 1, go. So both feet up in the air, arms out. Then a little bit of core control. Go down until your knees are about to hit the floor. Drop to the other side. Again, making sure as your hips twist, your chest still stays facing the ceiling or the sky or whatever's above you today. A couple of times each side, relax. And while you're down here, you might as well go into angry cat, happy cat. Just making sure you get an even curve at both ends of your spine. 2, 1. Breathe in when you go for angry cat. You just have to really breathe out, force the air out of your lungs. Try and get as much rounding at the lower back as you can. And making sure that it's not just this or rounding your upper back. Okay, from there we're going to go thread the needle. So for grasp this one, you're going to put one elbow down in front of the other knee. So left elbow, left knee, right hand on ear, go. Stick to one side for now. So again, as you do this, guys, if I just go face on for a second, I'm trying to make sure that you don't rock over to the other side. If you imagine you're doing it against the wall, do it against the wall if you can. And just try and stack opposite shoulder over the other, one shoulder over the other. Switch sides. Make sure you follow your own advice. Don't cheat and rotate and reach further than you can. Because again, it just gives you something else to figure out. And as you're doing that as well, make sure your hips always stay attached to your heels. Leave that one there. Okay, then we're going to go into hip swings. Seeing those of you that are doing a lot of running at the minute, this is probably going to become the biggest and best measure of how your hips and hamstrings are feeling. Just going to make sure that you control your range around your hips. Side to side, same leg. If you can, just to give yourself something to focus on, try and get the leg that you're swinging above the hip height on that side. So up to there, hopefully your ankle will cross. That's how high that hip is. Other leg backwards and forwards. Again, just always be checking your environment. Make sure you don't punt anything that doesn't want to be. I'm starting to annoy myself with that pelvic tilt. Okay, side to side. 3, 2, 1. And low and slow to begin with. See how it feels. The arm swing's just me counterbalancing to make sure I can stay upright. Oh, I need to work on my right side ankle stability. Okay, leave it there. Oh. Okay, so next bits, again, we're still focusing these videos on having no equipment. If you have bands, go through any banded work if you need to. So we're going to go into scat press. 2, 1, let's go. So again, big thing with this one, everyone, is that when you're pushing up, you're trying to create a really big stretch between your shoulder blades. So at the top, you're really pushing your hands down and away, rather than just sinking down and falling. Just trying to warm these muscles here by making them work. Your serratus anterior, get a big stretch here. Really start to set your shoulders up for the day. Finish off that one. Good. If you want to, again, you can just go into off your knees. Just make sure you don't bend your elbows. And then we'll go IYTW. And kneeling if you want, just make sure you keep that tight. 2, 1. Up to streamline. Back down. Again, make sure all that movement comes from your shoulder blades, separate them as much as you can. Big squeeze at the bottom. Out again. And then into T. If you really want, and you've got all this tight and locked down, that you're going to do a forearm plank, and you want to reach, you can, as long as you then squeeze and pull yourself back down so you're working all the time through that full range of motion. Okay, and just to get us going again, we'll have one little quick burst, high knees. So high knees with a bit of a sprint in the middle. 2, 1, go. It's 20 seconds, a couple of 3-second sprints, and go. Jogging again, and sprint. And last one, relax. So, today's session, like we said, same as it was on Monday, just to make sure that your hamstrings and your hips are all catching up. You're aware of what you need to work on, where your gaps are, where you can try and figure out where you need to recover the most, but also just to see how the week's been treating you. So, first exercise, short bridge. So if you notice with all these variations, we've worked from close to far or far to close. So it's the same exercise, but you're attacking muscles and joints in different ways. So short bridge again, find a table or a box. If you haven't got one of those, just do it as a single leg glute bridge. So foot up on the side, make sure you're at 90 degrees, hip and knee. Go up and down. So up and raises, up and down, bridges hold. Make sure you get a big squeeze at the top. When we swap over to the other side, then you're onto wide push-ups. So again, we'll push up as long as your hands are outside your shoulders. You don't have to be out here, but for me that would qualify as wide. So just change it up as you think you need to. Then into up downs. So again, just a little bit of cushioning for that. Just make sure that you're holding your core position without having too much hip rotation side to side. Okay, bit of your cushion again. Then you've got burpees after that, and I'm going to save my demo for that one. But again, just make sure you've got to maintain your back position the whole time. So down, and then try and get really quick on that return to the top. So feet forward, jump. The rest of it build on as you feel competent and safe to do so. Streamline crunch. You can easily make this a sky crunch if you want, but for us, feet where they need to be, heels up, streamline. Ball yourself up really tight, wrist behind your ears the whole time, rather than swinging up. And then you've got a duck to raise to finish off. So that's when you're on your side. Make sure you've got your cushion there. Side bridge position, up and down. If you really struggle with that, then just stay in the bridge. So 30 seconds, get your drinks ready. I think by next week, I'm really going to just show you what the exercise is going to be rather than talk through it. If you've got any questions afterwards, I can answer it then, so we can really get going. So, short bridge, left side, going together in 3, 2, 1, off we go. Again, priority, make sure at the top, most of the work should feel like it's coming from your hips, not your hamstring. Big deep breath in, squeeze your core, back down. So I think I've only done about 6 reps, but it feels like everything's working the way it should. Relax. 10 seconds off. Just going to switch legs as close as you can. 2, 1, off we go. And again, for everyone who's watching this video, we'd hope eventually you can get through this whole set without relaxing and resting your hips in between. But if you really need to, then absolutely you should be doing that, just so you don't start to bounce and cheat your way up. Leave that one there. Okay, I think I messed the order up earlier. It's actually supposed to be up downs. So wide presses comes later. Up downs going in 3, 2, 1, off you go. Again, if you really start to struggle, everyone, hold that press up plank position just for a little bit longer. Do less transitions. Going onto your knees, you're going to lose a lot of that load. So doing this probably isn't going to give you that much. But again, if your body position really feels like it's starting to struggle, your lower back starts to hurt, then do what you have to. Relax there. Again, 10 seconds off. Then we're moving on to burpees, everyone's favorite. Going in 3, 2, 1, off we go. Again, I'd much rather you took your time going down rather than crashing, losing your back position. Okay, relax there. 10-second break into streamline crunch. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Again, big range, squeeze up as tight and as hard as you can. Hold it. Just make sure that the lower back stays on the floor the whole time. And relax there. Wide push-ups next. So again, even if you're on knees, I'm going to start there for those that are struggling. Just so I can catch my breath. 2, 1, off you go. If you go on your knees with wide hands, just means that you're still going to hit your chest a little bit harder than your shoulders and triceps today, as long as you keep your hips flat down. So this nice and tight, rather than sticking them back and putting your elbows out to the side. Relax there. Okay, got a 10-second gap going into adductor raise. So, side plank position in front of your seat or your box. 2, 1, off you go. Again, if you're struggling, hold the raise pattern there. Stay up at the top. If you can only manage a few seconds before you start to crumble, come down 5 seconds off, 5 seconds on, 2, 1. Relax. All the work is being done between your knee and your hip. Like that, just there. Relax. Switch over. Last part of round 1. So 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Go rest. Make sure again, if you have to readjust, you do. Hold to the top. Stay with this, guys. Last little bit of round 1, 2-minute break in a second. then stop. So 2 minutes off. Make sure you grab a drink. So I've gone through round 1 with you. I'll start off round 2 and 3. I'll probably spend more of it going through alterations. So if you feel like you're really struggling, or you haven't got the equipment, or you do have the equipment, I can help you scale it based on how you're feeling and what you're capable of today. Got any comments or coming through yet, Demi?
We've got Neil saying, "Morning, Jordan. Starting another day of great again. Top man, thank you."
Cool, good to have you with us, Neil. Really does help, guys, when you're posting through. Keeps us on our toes. You're really going to have for those that haven't looked yet, today's challenge is going to be interesting for some of you, based on what we saw yesterday. Okay, last little minute. So again, start revising some of those mobility stretchy bits you think you need to. Little bonus bit, so that Russian squat we worked on yesterday, you can then sort of add in rotational pieces to that as well. And we'll cover that again at some point. Just again, for now, make sure you got your breath back, 30 seconds to go. Ready to start short bridge again in a second. For this round, I'll start with it. Like I said, I'm going to do the rest of it as single leg squats. Single leg glute bridges, just to show you how you can amend it. So 15 seconds. Last little sip of a drink. On the ground, ready to go. Okay, 5 seconds, guys. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So again, start the rep with that kind of action, with that taking your foot off. So it's all the heel squeeze that's starting it off. If you haven't got a box, feet on the ground, one leg up. Same thing, it's just a slightly smaller range of motion. It's the exact same activity. Relax. So you get a 10-second gap, and we're going to go again on the right side in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So again, just to feel like you're getting the same amount of work done, you might have to hold for longer at the top. Make sure your hands are up so you don't subconsciously start to push your elbows in. Nice controlled lowering phase. If you do start to feel your hamstrings a bit too much, bring your foot closer if you can, if you haven't already. 2, 1, relax there. So again, into up downs next, everyone. Get your cushion ready if you need it. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So again, if you are struggling with the up down part, I would just say stay in a push-up plank like this. If you roll and try and make this a little bit more challenging but more lower body dominant, if it's your shoulders that are starting to give you grief, just go into a marching position like this. It doesn't have to be very quick, but it's still going to give you a lot of shoulder stability challenges in terms of shoulder stability, and a lot of core control work in terms of trying to make sure your hips don't drop. Relax there. On to burpees next. So again, do as many as you can for time with good technique. 2, 1, let's go. So if you want to do what you did on Monday, have someone set you off. So down, someone say take your marks.
Take your marks. Go.
Get a massive jump. Take your marks again.
Take your marks. Go.
10 more seconds. Last one. And relax. Quick sip of drink. Before we do streamline crunch. In 2, 1, off you go. If this starts to bother your shoulders, or you feel like your lower back's starting to grumble, feel a little bit of pain down here above your pelvis, just go hand squats chest. Ten seconds left. Just try as well and make sure you don't lean by throwing your head up. Pull everything up with your core. And stop. Okay, then we're into the wide push-ups. Wide push-up time. 2, 1, off you go. So again, if you're really wide, make sure your elbows are pulled down towards your body, not out to the side. You want to make a sort of arrow shape with that. So down. Even if you go slow, and then push yourself back up. Hold your core. And because your elbows are outside of your shoulders, you should start to feel more of that work being done. More of the work being done in your chest rather than shoulders or triceps. So relax there for that one. And then we're going to go with duck to raise. Or bridge. 2, 1, off you go. So if you're struggling with this one, you can always go on the floor, cushion here, 1 foot on the ground, and just try and push yourself up like this. Hold it, relax. So you're still squeezing your foot down to the ground, or you can go with the other leg, lie flat, just lift that front leg up, squeeze as hard as you can, so it's almost like it's in reverse. Okay, relax there. 10 seconds before we start the last little bit of round 2. In 3, 2, 1, go. So this is a variation that I stole from another sport, but for people that are returning from knee injuries or trying to manage their load, you literally put 1 foot over the front, down, and try to lift that ankle up as high as you can. Failing that, you can just go with over-unders and do them really slowly. So on your back, feet out, cross them over and squeeze out nice and wide. Big squeeze at the end. The more you squeeze here, the more work your core is going to do. Relax there. So that's round 2. 1 more to go. And really make sure you're starting to take on water where you need to. Again, I don't like to try and make exercises like these stroke specific. I think it gives people maybe the wrong idea about what they need to do to develop themselves as athletes rather than performers in a given event. If you're doing any sort of swimming, any sort of sporting activity that involves using your whole body, any amount of strength that you've got around those key joints is going to have a big impact on the way you perform, just in terms of the way you articulate skills and the way that you recover from hard sessions. So if you find that your groin is a weak link in that chain, exercises like this are going to be far more important for you than just increasing your base lifts or improving your push-ups. Because one day, when the injury, if you do end up with a niggle, more often than not, it's something you didn't quite perform as well as you could do over a period of time. It's going to have an impact on how well you can train in the long term. The last thing anyone wants is to get a little bit into a training block and then start missing sessions because of little annoying niggles that you can't get rid of because you can't stop training. So that's what all of this work is about for now. I think in the coming weeks we're going to start ramping it up a little bit in terms of maybe doing some of the plyometric work that some of us have covered. Again, very low level, build it up gradually. And if anyone's got any questions or comments or feels that they want to be doing a bit more, that's where you reach out to us. We'll try and make sure that there's some content that's suitable for everybody. Instead of, we want to bring everyone on the journey with us, but we also want to make sure that if you're able to push yourself and try and develop some new skills, so that you have the opportunity to do so. Okay, last little drink, 10 seconds to go. On to short bridge again, left side. Stay with us, guys. 2, 1, let's go.
So what you could do as well, and today you've got raises, tomorrow it's a long bridge. So if you wanted to, for the last round of this, you can make this a short bridge. And then tomorrow, you can do some long raises. If you find it easier to go up and down, relax there, swap legs. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. It's a very similar thing. Hold it. If you can't hold the whole 30, drop down, 5 seconds off, recover your core position, go again, hold on to that. It's a very hard idea to get round. When all you see, relax. There's people smashing these bodyweight sessions at home. If you can't keep up, it's better to scale it down, make the right choice for you. So up, downs, in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Again, make this a little bit easier. Feet wide, into a narrow point. Hold it for a few seconds. Push yourself up. Last 10 seconds. Brings it back to neutral. Make sure your core holds out. 2, 1, relax. Into burpees. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Other alternative to save the up and down. You go for mountain climber type burpee. Jump on someone, says go, Demi.
Go.
Back down here.
Go.
This means you're getting more reps in without the risk of going up and down, hurting your shoulders as much. Just make sure I've got my breath so I can finish the round. One more. Okay, leave that there. There's wide push-ups, isn't it? And stringline crunch. 2, 1, off we go. Again, if you want to do it as a hold, see who can do it for the longest. So make sure your shoulders come off the ground. Keep that lower back tucked in. Drop into this position if you have to. Okay, last 6 seconds or so. And 2, 1, relax. Okay, 5 push-ups. It's almost over the hump there, guys. Just the raises left after this. Going in 3, 2, 1, off you go. So again, if you haven't quite had a go at this one yet, it's a really good way of figuring out which muscle is working the hardest during each variation. As low as you can to make sure if your arms start to wobble that you just bring them in a little bit, especially for those of you that are hypermobile. And relax. So managing elbow mobility around being hypermobile is a big challenge for a lot of people. It's important you do that so you can carry on. 2, 1, let's go. So not the greatest bodyweight demo, so I'm going to go again. If you're going to walk on the right leg here, left leg over the top, and then you just lift, lie down, and squeeze your right ankle up to the ceiling as hard as you can. So it's very similar to an over-under, but you're going to get how high you can lift your out leg as a measure of how well you're doing. 2, 1, relax. Last little round. Finish strong, everyone. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So if you've got people in the room with you, measure that. I'll try and do it without the leg over so you can see. hips facing forward. See how high you can get your leg. So I think, is that leg higher than my one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so straight away, that doesn't feel quite as tough for me, but it means that my left groin is maybe just a little bit stronger than my right. It might just be a skill thing, but at least now I've got an idea of what I need to keep an eye on. And then from there you can just finish off with a quick over-under burner. If you're still doing these, well done. Keep it going. And 2, 1, relax. Okay. So well done, guys. Make sure you take on a drink before we start doing the cool down. Get some layers on if you're still outside. Again, let us know in the comments how you're finding all of this. Again, from the results that I've seen, the people that are doing the running, using all sorts of great apps to share your sessions with us. So I know people are using the Nike one. Strava's been recommended by quite a few people. So even if you're just going out, you're trying your best, but you want to show everyone in your squad and show your coaches how you're doing, that's definitely the best way. Just give us a screenshot on Twitter, or just again message your coach if you don't want to share it publicly, just so we get an idea of how you're finding the sessions. So into quad stretch, just grab your ankle, hold that position. And again, once we've done this, if there's anything else you need to pick up afterwards, please do so. Make sure you've got enough time before you shoot off to work or to do your virtual classrooms. Okay, switch sides. Let me know what you think through the group chats or through email. I'm going to start putting in some little prehab bits. I'm thinking of doing this anyway. So with all the extra running that's going on, just to make sure that you're preparing yourself almost like a runner would. So maybe some extra ankle bits and pieces in there, just to make sure that the wheels don't come off the wagon. But relax there. So sprint stretch. Knee down. 2, 1. Let's go. And hopefully I'm going to get through this without using Demi as an example, so it shows that I'm actually aware of what I'm doing. A nice flat back position. And pulse in and out of it if you think it will help. Bend your knee, go straight back into it. 2, 1. Let's go. Switch over. Knee down. 2, 1. Go again. And again. You might find that your non-dominant leg, so whichever leg you never use in your block split, will be a bit more challenging than the other side. That's completely fine. We're not expecting you to be ambidextrous when you go into competitions, but it's just a good way of you recognizing maybe what could be a limiter in terms of your kicks, which should be symmetrical. So if you've got something that's clinging on for dear life instead of doing the job you want it to, then it's an opportunity, and it should be pretty quick for us. There's nothing here that shouldn't be too quick to fix if we concentrate on it. So, bent knee iron cross in 2, 1. Let's go. So we're going to have to explain today's challenge, which is based around the value of respect. I'm going to have a little quick introduction to PNF stretching. So this is something that a lot of people have been through with me. If you've had injuries, if you've had something that a therapist or a physio has given you to work on in between training, but essentially it's just another string to your bow on top of static stretching and dynamic stretching to help you figure out what could be causing your limitation in your range of motions today. So hip stretches stop there, and move on to lat stretch. Make sure you don't have your face in the grass. and go. And again, just change it up a little bit if you want. You can turn your, whichever side you're reaching to, turn the other hand up to the sky. And doing that, it's just going to externally rotate your humerus where your lat attaches to, just makes that a little bit longer, get you a bit more of a stretch without just yanking and pulling. And relax over to the other side. So if you've got a marker on the ground, make sure your hips stay on that line or between two tiles. And go. So I think I rotated over to the side there from talking too much. Just really slowly roll it over. So again, if you find that you can't reach as far today as you do normally, it's completely fine. Just listen to your body, go at the speed that it wants to, and I guarantee you're going to recover and feel a lot better for it. So the last one for today, on this chest stretch again. In 2, 1, go. Again, same as yesterday, sort of quote unquote classic. If you want to do something different and you haven't got a massage ball, just use your hands or your knuckles, just push them very gently into your pecs, the muscle that we're just trying to stretch there, and just maybe even arm swings. It's going to start contracting and squeezing and stretching that muscle out. And especially where we said you want to be able to apply force at a long arm length away from your body, then you can start to feel whether you've got anything you need to work on there. Relax and switch sides. The only thing with this, from a safety perspective, that I'd say you do not want to do is trying to hit your pec minor. So again, the way that the pec minor works, you'd have to dig your fingers right up underneath, trying to stay away from trying to lift your pec up. Just go very much on the front of your body. And if you look it up, if you want to know more, let us know. But it's definitely something that's quite important for posture in the water, but definitely something you want a trained physiotherapist to look at, and something that you probably shouldn't be able to do in the next couple of weeks. So leave that there for now. So today's challenge is under the value of respect. So it's very hard not to make crossovers and references to what's happening in the world at the minute. There was a program on Dispatches on Channel 4 last night. I forget the name of the surgeon that was speaking on it, talking about how the infection rate with flu, if you pass it on 10 times, so if you go out, pass it on, you're probably going to infect like 14 people. But with what's going on with coronavirus, if you pass it on to 3 people and they carry on to the power of 10, that's going to hit 59,000. And what we talked about was how staying home and following the quarantine and looking after yourself is what's going to show respect for the rest of the nation, and making sure that you and yourself are holding yourself to some sort of value structure. So again, what you're doing to make sure that you're respecting the people around you, and again your own body. It's very repetitive from what I'm saying again, but it's definitely worth thinking about. How do you feel? What makes you feel that you've been respected in response to how other people treat you, and how can you enact that to others going forward? So the challenge is possibly not very respectful of me to have written. Again, some great shifts have been put in over the last week so far, but we're not done yet. So, respect, volume challenge. You've got 3 exercises, 100 repetitions of each. You can do them in any order you want. So you've got to perform 100 burpees, 100 bicycle crunches, and 100 up downs. So, almost like a harder version of the adaptability set. You set your timer, you go through, you could do 5 burpees, 5 of each and repeat. You could do 10 of each, have a little break if you think it will keep you going, as long as by the time you finish, you have done 100 burpees, 100 bicycle crunches, and 100 up downs. Stop the timer, post your results, and again, make sure you're sharing with us on the group chats. We'll make sure that you get recognized for your efforts on Twitter, and they'll leave that one for there. Any questions, please let us know. Again, I've been saying this is the sheet I've got in front of me, but I know that the youth squad. I've got a slightly easier version of this, but it's still very important, guys, that you stay with us. Like, make sure Joe and Will are aware of what you're up to. Make sure we know what you're up to. I think it was amazing when Charlotte, Nicole, and Harriet were saying they were doing these sessions together on FaceTime. It's an absolutely brilliant idea that I've not thought of. So if you want to FaceTime each other in the morning so you can all do this together, that's an incredible way to stay in contact and work hard together. PNF, what's the time? Very, very, very quickly, for those that are interested, I will readdress this at some point. So PNF stands for neuromuscular, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, if you'll want to look it up. So all it means is that you have a bit of a stretch, you squeeze the muscle, and then you stretch it again just to see if you can unlock some range of motion. The best example of that is the hamstring one. So lying your back, looking up to the sky. So if I do a bad one, if you're like here, if that was as best you could do, and some of our lads have got about that much range, you then put your foot up on a box, or get someone to hold your ankle. You're not trying to lift your hips up, you're just going to pull your heel towards you. You can do it on the ground. Just make sure you're contracting and really squeezing your hamstring at about a 5 out of 10 effort. So if you imagine a dimmer switch on a light, just start to gradually raise it up a little bit, not quite 10, like 7 or 8, for about 20 seconds. Okay, a little shake out, about 10 seconds or so. And then go back down, make sure the other leg is straight. It's still not perfect, but it should just feel like you can get either more range for the same effort, you can get the same range but with a bit less effort, or you can find a bit more extra if you just push a little bit harder. So the idea is that by contracting the muscle, it's sort of like a kill switch on a circuit. Now, a little bit of squeeze just sends signals up. So you've got two systems of sending signals to your muscles from the brain, and then signaling pathways that will carry them up to the brain, and you're interfering with those proprioceptive messages that will then allow your muscles to relax a little bit, because your body's not trying to protect you from injury, essentially. If you want to know more, please get hold of me. I know some people in some squads have been through this with me through necessity, but it just means if you've got questions here, you've got a chance to work on it, just to make sure that you stay happy and healthy. So that's it from me for this morning. And again, thanks for tuning in. And from everyone in Guildford City, hope you have a great morning all around the world, parents and swimmers, as well as the coaches as well. Thank you.